On the 11th of October 2024, Elon Musk had finally unveiled the robo-taxi he's been promising for a decade, the Tesla Cybercab, a fully autonomous car without a steering wheel, pedals or mirrors, intended as an urban taxi, one which amounts to a slightly modified Model Y, and it is going to be sold for under $30,000 according to Musk. For a heavy-duty fleet EV, that is an incredible price, especially since the less advanced Model Y costs $45,000. Anyway, now if you've been watching my content, you know what I think of robo-taxis and Elon Musk in general. To quickly recap, robo-taxis are inherently shit at servicing a whole city. They are great for safe, upper-middle-class neighborhoods filled with Mac mansions where everyone travels in clean, dry clothes, there is no crime, and roads are properly maintained. When you get out of those areas, however, you immediately start having problems. What if people get on in dirty clothes and mess up the interior? What if someone throws up inside, breaks bottles, lets their pet poop on the floor, and so on? On proper mass transit, this is less of a problem. You have fellow passengers around you, so there is social pressure on you to behave, and if you don't, the driver will beat your ass. Like once I was taking a tram in Budapest. At one stop, two homeless dudes got on and started yelling and fighting each other. Right then the tram came to a screeching halt. The doors opened. The tram driver dives out of his cabin, bolts at the two dudes, and just body slams them out of the tram, and then just walks back to their cabin as if nothing happened. In robo-taxis, however, you are on your own. It's just you and whoever rides along with you. If there's trouble, you're screwed. Better yet, you can become an easy target for robbery in rough areas. Robbers can just block your taxi in a shady area, pry open the doors, and take your stuff at knife point. And there are other issues with robo-taxis, like low capacity and horrible scalability. By definition, they cannot be the future of mass transit because they're not mass, and can only transport a tiny fraction of what a proper transit line could. Robo-taxis are peak elite projection, basically when a bunch of rich guys get to design public transit along their own wants and needs, which usually makes it completely useless for the rest of us. Oh, would you look at that? The West Coast corporate millionaire thinks public transit is when a bunch of tiny VIP business lounges slowly roll around the city. What happens when 10,000 people want to get to work in the morning? I don't know, ask fucking ChatGPT. I mean, we'll employ AI to enhance transportation logistical processes. Well, the only useful thing I can think of that you can do in these things is to read the news in peace. And recently Elon Musk has been providing plenty of headlines for us too. He's even stepped into the political arena endorsing Donald Trump. This story has been covered by lots of outlets. But the way this has been covered on both sides is really different. This headline focuses on how much Musk is influencing what ex-users think by taking over the @America account to promote Trump's re-election. Probably because tech corporations would benefit way more from him than Kamala Harris. But Breitbart is choosing to focus on how Elon thinks Kamala winning will end American democracy, because of course he does. And stuff like this is why I keep working with Ground News. They really simplify navigating through the biased media landscape with the context they give you. A returning sponsor of my channel, Ground News is an app and website that collects the world's news in one place to clarify the different ways news sources frame the same story. They even calculate each outlet's political bias, credibility, and whether they are owned by billionaires or funded by corporations, so we know exactly where their views are coming from. One of their coolest features is their blind spot feed, where you'll find more important stories barely getting attention from the right or left, enabling you to get a fuller, more comprehensive coverage of world events. Ground News is a great tool to have in your hand, especially when influential figures start jumping into the election to sway your thinking, often for their own ulterior motives. I can only recommend it if you want to cut through bias and come to your own conclusions. Go to ground.news/Adam or scan this QR code to receive 40% off their Vantage plan, which includes unlimited access to every feature I've mentioned and more. With them, you're not only supporting me in making more content for you, but also an independent platform making the media landscape more transparent. Thank you for checking out Ground News.
So, in fact, I think the cost of autonomous transport will be so low that you can think of it like individualized mass transit.
Individualized mass transit, right next to dry water and post-puberty Andrew Tate fans. I love these Tesla events, they're so awkward. There's always this weird clash in energy levels. The audience sounds like a bunch of coked up chimpanzees, while Musk sounds like he took benzos with vodka.
Welcome. Welcome to the Wii Robot Party. There's 20 more where that came from. So they've been traveling, there's no people in them, as you can see. The car's just going by with no people. And we have 50 fully autonomous cars here tonight. So you'll see Model Ys and the Cybercab, all driverless. You'll be able to take a ride in the Cybercab. There's no steering wheel or pedals. So I hope this goes well.
Hold on a sec. Ha! This almost flew by me. A fully autonomous Tesla car without a steering wheel or pedals? Oh great! So when the notoriously unreliable Tesla autopilot fucks up, as it does constantly, you won't even be able to yank the steering wheel away or slam the brakes. When your car decides to wildly swerve into the oncoming lane, you'll just be sitting there as your life flashes before you. It will have some sort of panic button which stops the car, but that will either cause you to stop in the oncoming lane or your own if you're quick enough. Which means either the car coming behind you will slam into you, or the car in the opposite lane. Great. So yeah, Tesla's Cybercab is even worse than that god-awful Amazon robo-taxi. It's not even a little shuttle thing you can just step in and out of. It's a regular car you have to climb into. So if you're in a wheelchair or reduced mobility, you won't be taking part in the future of transportation. Sorry. But wait, what's this? Dear Lord, this is not a car. Is this a bus? Well, no, it's a van. The Tesla Cybervan. At least they didn't call it a goddamn pod. It features groundbreaking innovations sorely missing from public transit, such as gamer chairs, strip club lighting, no space for wheelchairs, luggage storage that opens to the outside. Wait, what? You want to store your luggage in a separate compartment for a city bus ride? Imagine getting off at a crowded stop and wasting everyone's time for 5 minutes as you try to dig out your bag from the bottom. Also, you do realize this would be an absolute heaven for thieves and a nightmare for everyone else. What if someone grabs your luggage at a stop? If you're sitting inside, you won't notice until it's too late. No sane person would want to leave their stuff in there. As a result, people would just bring their huge suitcases with them, clogging up that tiny interior space. Now, long-distance buses also have compartments that open to the outside, but the driver usually locks them and supervises the loading and unloading. The RoboVan has no driver, so I assume the compartment can just be opened once the thing stops. Oh, but you don't get it. There will be an app that lets you open the trunk safely. Oh, great. So get ready for Grandma holding up the van for half an hour because she can't figure out how to sync her phone to the van via Bluetooth. And if these trunk doors operate as well as the Cybertrucks, we're also looking at passengers losing fingers.
I'm gonna put my finger flat right here and see what happens. Ready? 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 Ah! Ow! 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 Okay. Oh my God. Ow! Okay, I can't even move my finger right now. I might have actually broken it. Look at how bad that puncture is.
And the whole RoboVan sits so low that traversing any road not perfectly smooth is completely out of the question. The first medium-sized pothole would just break this thing in half by the looks of it. It seems to me that the RoboVan was designed by people who have never taken real public transit in their lives and who rarely venture outside of their gated communities. What a shock. I would love to say more about the RoboVan and the Cybercab, but this is pretty much all we know. And I would argue this is all there is to know. These two things are the equivalent of a half-assed homework you put together in a panic during the first period. This is a nothing burger which Musk was forced to push out, and in a moment I'll explain why. But this being nothing didn't stop people from fawning all over it as usual. Musk did a fantastic job of painting an ideal future for transportation that promises to both free up our time and increase safety, said Jessica Caldwell, head of Insights at Edmunds, which she followed up with, "Many questions remain about how this will be achieved from a practical standpoint." This is a classic move by hype-chasing fluff journalists. Some tech guru promises some impossible, pie-in-the-sky bullshit, and so such journalists get to pump out metric tons of fluff pieces describing these amazing innovations that will change our world forever by revolutionizing the way we live. Musk will build a hyper-high-tech vacuum train out of vibranium. LA to San Francisco in 35 minutes, whisking passengers at 1,200 kilometers per hour. And it will only cost $6 billion. Questions remain about how any of this is even possible, but my god, isn't this epic! Don't forget to like and share, and turn off your ad blocker. Here's the thing, the hype and excitement around Musk's projects are not genuine. They are artificially driven by people with monetary interests. Now, this is how media often works. This is how American media works as a whole, in fact, trying to gain viewership for ad revenue. A tech company comes out with some idiotic concept which basically is dead on arrival, level, but it looks shiny, so off we go, rev up the content mill, we are gonna milk this bullshit for every cent of ad revenue there is. But Tesla is a special case here. First off, it's more well-known and popular, so for fluff journalists, or any kind of journalist really, covering anything Tesla is an absolute must. Second, a ton of people have a vested interest in the company's shares constantly increasing. Tesla is like Bitcoin. You don't buy into it because you agree with the vision or you like the product. No, the main reason you're there is to speculate. Buy low, sell high. It's a pump and dump. And how do you pump the stock price? By generating as much hype around the company as humanly possible so that more people buy the shares, so the line goes up. Now, this is a bit weird, isn't it? To have this sort of hype surround a car company. You don't have this with Toyota or Ford, companies whose production dwarfs that of Tesla, and yet their share price is a fraction of Tesla's. That's because Tesla does not present itself as a car company. It tries to pose as a tech company, and tech companies are prime territory for hype-based pump and dumps. Think of the dot-com bubble around 2000, or the Theranos scandal, or fucking Juicero. Everyone is looking for the next big thing that will get huge overnight. Sudden paradigm shifts, triple-digit growths, massive returns. If that's what you're looking for, tech companies are your best bet, at least in the public consciousness. Basically, everyone is looking for a 1990s Apple share. Buy in now and see the value of your investment go up by 220,000% in a few years. Tesla will surely do the same as soon as known genius Elon Musk revolutionizes transit forever by taking control of the global transportation market with his awesome robo-taxis, increasing the share price from $220 to thousands and more. And in order to achieve that, the company has to be hyped as hard as possible at all times. This has led to the funny situation where people have to pretend that Elon Musk is a genius inventor, because a company led by a genius Tony Stark science man is worth more on the stock market. Musk is a complete moron by any metric, and the fact that he made it this far is only due to a bizarre string of blind luck, but people have to pretend that this is not the case. Meanwhile, look at how he handles Twitter. That's how he handled all his previous companies, except before he had people slapping his hands away from the steering wheel before it was too late. With Twitter, nobody kept him in check, and he ran the website into the ground. The same happened with the Cybertruck. That was also an Elon Musk solo project, and it was such a spectacular failure in all regards that it's actually quite sad. I have a video on that too, by the way, in case you're wondering. Recently, 27,000 Cybertrucks had to be recalled because their rear view cameras are lagging when you put the car in reverse. How do you even... So with all that in mind, let's consider Tesla's reveal event from a new perspective. We have a bunch of half-assed prototypes that look like they were thrown together in a couple of months. We have a Tesla product line that has been stagnant for half a decade, with the latest release being an embarrassing failure, and a share price half of what it used to be during its peak. Meanwhile, competitors are coming in, eating away at Tesla's market share, and Twitter is eating Musk alive financially, with revenues down by 84%. In this situation, Musk suddenly comes out with his robotaxi concept, which he's been promising for a decade, presenting some bullshit, half-assed prototypes without any technical details. All this leads me to believe that this is all a show. What we're looking at is fake. It's all bullshit. These are not real vehicles. They've got nothing. And I think so because supposedly they've been working on these things for nearly a decade. After all that time, they should be presenting perfected, mass production ready models with full specifications and exact prices. Instead, all we have are some rough vehicle concepts with no specs supposedly coming in a few years. As if Elon Musk just told some engineers to throw together some futuristic looking bullshit in a few months, so he will have something to parade in front of the people looking to rev the Tesla hype machine. And he did this because I suspect he's under a lot of pressure by Tesla shareholders to put out something, anything. Make the line go up, Elon, now. Okay, boom, check out our new robo-taxis. We're not going to tell you anything about them, but you can look at them from a distance. Now get excited and buy our shares. It didn't work, by the way. After the event, Tesla stocks dipped by 8%, because Tesla at this point is running on fumes. Till now, they could get away with operating on hype alone, but the sun is slowly setting on them. They are no longer the cool, unique whiz kids in the room, producing awesome EVs like nobody else. Other manufacturers, particularly Chinese ones, are catching up fast. Into this slow, downward spiral came the Cybertruck that made it clear to everyone that Tesla is no longer at the cutting edge. They no longer have the lead in coolness or innovation. Increasingly, they are just another car company, and a bad one at that. As soon as enough people realize this, the hype-inflated Tesla stock prices will come crashing back down to reality, causing a lot of people to lose a lot of money. Tesla is doomed. They've got nothing. They're woefully behind the curve with no hope of catching up. They're holding a sack of hot air, insisting it's actually full of magical techno-future bullshit that will make you rich if you invest now. In reality, all they have is a bunch of half-assed, barely functional tech which used to be cutting-edge 15 years ago. A great example of this are the Tesla bots they showcased at the reveal event. Looking at them slowly and awkwardly march out to the stage, I can't help but think of Boston Dynamics and the stuff they have, like the Atlas bots, making Tesla bots look disabled in comparison. Boston Dynamics bots are running around, jumping, doing backflips, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Tesla bots? Without commentary, here is footage of the Asimo bot built by Honda from the year 2000. Oh look, people are actually talking to them.
It's insane, it's even talking.
Say hi to my friend John.
John? Where's John?
Right here.
Oh, hello, John.
How are you?
How you doing?
That's crazy, I'm talking to a robot.
Oh no, is that a Tesla intern talking through a microphone?
In Silicon Valley.
Wonderful. Where do you live in San Jose? Do you live in Allen Valley or do you live in the Santa Teresa area?
No, I live in Los Gatos.
Oh god, this is embarrassing. First we had a dude dancing in a robot suit, now we have a dude talking through the robot, pretending it's the robot doing it. Also, those movements look interesting. Wait a minute, I think I know what's going on here. Thunderfoot noticed earlier that during demonstration videos of the Tesla bot where the thing is folding laundry, it's actually being remote controlled by a dude standing next to it, which is what I think is happening at the reveal event. So we have a bunch of guys somewhere in the back with headsets and controllers, carefully moving the robots around and talking to spectators as if it was the robot doing it. This is just pathetic. I'm sorry, tech company my ass. This would have been impressive 20 years ago, but as with electric cars, Tesla has been left woefully behind by competitors who, by now, know better. So in a spectacular display of irony, Tesla's big reveal did not showcase their advancement and technological progress, but the fact that they are, well and truly, irreversibly fucked. Their beginner's edge is gone for good, and they don't have the ability to regain their lead, especially with Musk at the helm, who thinks the future is poorly assembled stainless steel trucks that look like 1998 game vehicles. No wonder Tesla stock dipped so hard after the event. And with that being said, this is where I dip out. I can only take so much cringe for a day. Thank you for watching, and if you like my content, please consider becoming a patron or a channel member here on YouTube. Also, I have a bunch of merch which I encourage you to check out, and I'll be seeing you next time.